What do NFL legends spend their millions of dollars on? Warning, some of these stories are very wild. We will be looking at the lavish spending habits and financial mismanagement of some of the biggest stars in American football. From bankruptcies to lawsuits, we will explore how these former players lost everything. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. We'll also talk about what some of these guys are doing now to try and turn their fortunes around. This is how NFL legends blew their millions. Terrell Owens is the first one on the list. This former NFL wide receiver has had financial struggles in the past. In 2012, he filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, citing $38.5 million in debt and only $10 million in assets. According to sources, Owens had multiple outstanding lawsuits and several unpaid mortgages and taxes. In addition, he had unpaid child support payments and several luxury cars and houses, including a $2.5 million home in Dallas that was in foreclosure. However, Owens has since then gone on to talk about his financial struggles and taking responsibility for them, for which he had to face difficult times and financial crises. He has also been vocal about NFL players needing more education on handling finances. Johnny Unitas went from playing semi-professional football for $6 a game to being the superstar of the NFL. With 18 seasons under his belt and over 40,000 passing yards, Unitas was a true legend and the greatest quarterback of all time, including a Super Bowl win and 10 Pro Bowl appearances. He went from rags to riches, counting millions as he played. But like many athletes before and after him, he fell into the trap of poor investments and bad business ideas. He even went as far as guaranteeing loans for his companies, making him personally responsible for the bills if they failed. And fail they did, and he lost over $6 million. It's a classic cautionary tale that reminds us that Florida real estate is best avoided. Next on the list, we have Derrick Dawson. He may have had a Hall of Fame career as the center for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but off the field he was better known for his fumbleless finances. Despite 12 years of gridiron glory, his real estate business tanked harder than a Hail Mary pass in the red zone. After spending some time as a developer, he filed for bankruptcy in 2010, revealing that he had more liabilities than a politician on social media and fewer assets than a quarterback who can't pass. Though, all jokes aside, Dawson did face a difficult situation in his financial life. According to the bankruptcy filing, his liabilities exceeded $69 million, while his assets were valued at only $1.5 million. Despite this setback, Dawson's legacy as a talented football player still stands. Koser may have had a touchdown-worthy career as a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, but his post-retirement business ventures were more like a sack, not much yardage gained. After hanging up his cleats in 1996, he tried his hand at a variety of businesses, but none of them seemed to click as his passes did in his prime. In 2009, he found himself in a deep financial hole and filed for bankruptcy, revealing that he had more debt than a rookie QB trying to impress the coach, and his taxes were due more than a cornerback in man coverage. Koser filed for bankruptcy with debts totaling $18.9 million. Government authorities foreclosed or seized a few of his properties, and he also owed the state of Ohio over $173,000 in unpaid taxes. We couldn't keep this video rolling without mentioning Vince Young. After his NFL career, reports revealed that he had been having some financial struggles, with Young spending lavishly on luxuries like cars, clothes, and jewelry. He reportedly spent $300,000 on a diamond-encrusted watch, spent $1.5 million on a home, and gave money away to friends and family members. He also invested in a restaurant that didn't perform well. The combination of these habits with poor financial management and poor investment decisions resulted in Young filing for bankruptcy in 2014, despite earning a significant amount of money during his career, according to reports. It's important to note that these reports about Young's spending habits and financial troubles are from various media outlets and not confirmed by Vince Young himself. The sad thing about financial mismanagement is that it can happen to anybody, even Ray Rice, who once was one of the most successful running backs in the NFL. Rice had 3 Pro Bowl appearances and helped lead the Ravens to a victory in Super Bowl 47. Reports have emerged that Rice struggled financially after his NFL career, particularly with his spending habits. According to news articles, he allegedly spent a significant amount of money on cars, jewelry, expensive vacations, and other non-essential purchases. He also reportedly gave away a large sum of money to friends and family members. These habits, coupled with poor financial management and other issues, led to the NFL star facing financial difficulties. In 2016, Rice's home was foreclosed due to unpaid mortgage payments. Tiki Barber may have been the top running back for the Giants, but off the field, his moves were more like a fumble than a touchdown. During his NFL career, he racked up a good amount of money, but his personal life took a hit post-retirement. He landed a job as a sports analyst at NBC and was doing pretty well, but his career hit a roadblock when he left his wife for an intern, which caused him to lose his job due to a morality clause in his contract. Some might say that Barber's post-NFL life was more like a game of Tetris, where things just didn't fit together. All jokes aside, it's not uncommon for NFL players to have personal life trouble that affects their professional lives, and Barber was no exception. Rahi Rocket Ismail was another freak of nature on the football field, but off of it, his financial ventures were more like a rocket that fizzled out mid-launch. He played for the Canadian Football League for 2 years and the NFL for another 10 years, earning a cool $20 million throughout his career. But after his retirement, his business ventures took a nosedive. He invested in various endeavors, but the majority of them ended up being duds, causing him to lose nearly all of his earnings. He probably should have stuck to scoring touchdowns instead of trying to score big in the business world. This one is for those who remember Mark Brunell and his financial plays, which were more like a botched snap. He made a pretty penny during his career, ranking in an estimated $50 million from contracts and salary. But after hanging up his cleats, his investments in Michigan real estate and a fast food chain called Whataburger proved to be more like a fumble than a touchdown. He ended up throwing an interception by filing for bankruptcy in 2010. But all jokes aside, Brunell's situation of financial struggles is a reminder that success on the field doesn't always translate to success in business and investments, even for those who earned a significant amount of money during their careers. A Super Bowl winner with the Green Bay Packers, Rison had an outstanding career that was matched only by his extravagant spending habits. He loved living the high life, blowing over $1 million on bling and flashy cars. He even admitted to carrying tens of thousands of dollars in his pockets just to buy the most expensive bottles at nightclubs and show off. Unfortunately, this culture of constant one-upmanship led to terrible spending habits and costly maternity suits. But when it came to taxes and daily expenses, he was as clueless as a newborn. As a result, he declared bankruptcy with over $20 million in debt, mostly from overdue child support. It's safe to say that Rison learned the hard way that living like a king isn't always sustainable. One of the most beloved players of his era, William Perry's life has been a wild ride, but it's currently going off the rails. He won a Super Bowl with the Chicago Bears, had a 10-season career in the NFL, and was even a cultural phenomenon because of his massive size. He made appearances at WWE events and was everywhere on TV, but his fame and success were short-lived. Despite various endorsement deals, Perry couldn't keep up with his extravagant lifestyle and frivolous spending. To make matters worse, he had to contend with alcoholism, diabetes, and chronic nerve pain. Talk about a triple whammy. Eventually, Perry had to move into an assisted living center, living off of monthly Social Security checks to pay off his debts to the IRS and medical bills. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, he was forced to sell his massive Super Bowl ring because he had no assets left. Life can be tough when you're a huge unit. The business and the sports world are great if you know how to make wise decisions. However, not everyone can be a Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, or Cristiano Ronaldo. Hopefully this video will help you think twice when spending your money. Good luck.